45 case number 10.
And it has tone to it. Mengqi. Mengqi.
I'll enter as a missing person until we hear otherwise from her, or can prove that she went somewhere.
Investigators believe skeletal remains found in a state park are those of a missing Colombia woman. Mengqi Ji.
Did you suffocate her?
No.
Did you strangle her, causing her to urinate on the bed?
No.
You killed her on that bed.
No.
Welcome back to Monsters Among Us. Today, we uncover the haunting case of Mengqi Ji, a young mother whose sudden disappearance sent shockwaves through Columbia, Missouri. But as her family and friends frantically searched for answers, a chilling truth emerged, one far more sinister than anyone could have imagined. Beneath the facade of normalcy lurked a predator, a wolf in sheep's clothing, who would ultimately claim Mengqi's life. Stay tuned as we unravel this devastating story of betrayal, deception, and murder. On October 10th, 2019, 23-year-old Joseph Elledge made a call that would set off a chain of events no one could have predicted. He reported his wife, Mengqi Ji, missing from their Columbia, Missouri home on Eastwood Drive. When officers arrived, Joseph painted a picture of an ordinary night. It was October 8th, and Mengqi was happily playing with their daughter, Anna, before bedtime.
Hey, Joe.
Hi.
Hey, it's Officer Joseph. So you said took her purse with her, right?
Yeah.
Phone.
Yeah, phones. Do you want it? It's her wedding ring. We're both just left on that table. I can't unlock her phone. It's locked and I don't know the password.
Joseph Elledge claimed that when he woke up on the morning of October 9th, his wife, Mengqi, was nowhere to be found. Although he found her absence strange, he didn't immediately raise the alarm. Instead, he waited a full day, hoping she would return, before finally contacting the authorities on October 10th to officially file a missing persons report. What could have caused such hesitation? Was it concern or something far more chilling that kept Joseph from seeking help sooner?
45 case number 100707, repeating 10707.
So I'll enter as a missing person until we hear otherwise from her, or can prove that she went somewhere. Obviously, the best thing for her to do would be to call and say, "Hey, this is where I'm at," for everybody, so everybody knows.
Yeah.
And you guys can try to work out whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
But as far as like issues between you and her, is it just? I mean, anything? She just kind of nitpick? Is that kind of the deal, or
Yeah.
anything?
Yeah. There was no big, large arguments recently.
Just disagreements about small things.
Yeah.
Mengqi Ji was born on April 18, 1991, in China, during a time when the country's one-child policy was strictly enforced. Though she grew up without siblings, this never dimmed her spirit. Bright, driven, and charismatic, Mengqi excelled academically, always making her parents proud. With a passion for learning, she worked tirelessly to pursue a degree in engineering, a field she had long dreamed of. In 2012, Mengqi's life took an exciting turn when she participated in an exchange program that brought her to the United States, where she attended the University of Missouri. Her goal was clear: earn her master's degree and return home to her family. But Mengqi's exceptional work ethic and intelligence caught the eye of her professors, and her plans changed. So impressed were they by her abilities that she was immediately offered a job in the U.S., securing a position with a company that specialized in creating orthodontic products. It seemed like her future was set, full of promise and opportunity. Shortly after graduating from the University of Missouri, Joseph Elledge, Mengqi Ji's future husband, was hired at the same company where she worked. As fate would have it, Mengqi became his supervisor, and by January 2016, the two began dating, officially making their relationship public. Despite Joseph being 5 years younger, Mengqi was completely smitten, falling deeply in love with him. On September 8, 2017, Joseph proposed, and without hesitation, Mengqi said yes. Just 2 weeks later, the couple tied the knot, eager to start their lives together. Within a year, they welcomed their daughter, Anna, into the world, a moment that transformed Mengqi's life in ways she hadn't anticipated. Although her heart had always been in engineering, motherhood came naturally to her, and she embraced her new role as a stay-at-home mom with joy and devotion. Her life seemed picture-perfect until everything began to unravel. Those who knew Mengqi described her as deeply family-oriented, someone who spoke to her mother every single day. Despite the thousands of miles separating them, with her mother living in China, they remained closely connected through calls and text messages. So, when days passed without a word from Mengqi after October 8th, her mother's heart filled with dread. This sudden silence was out of character, and she knew, deep down, that something was terribly wrong. While speaking with the responding officers, Joseph Elledge recounted the events of October 8th. He claimed that the last conversation he had with Mengqi was when he offered to give her a massage, which she declined. By the next morning, he said, she was gone. But what made her disappearance even more alarming was that she had left everything behind: her phone, car keys, and most shockingly, their young daughter. For someone as devoted and responsible as Mengqi, this behavior was completely out of character, raising immediate red flags. After Joseph made his report, the local news station would air footage asking for the public's assistance in helping find Mengqi Ji.
I need to file a missing persons report. Or
Okay, I can help you with that. What's your name?
Joe Elledge.
Okay. And tell me exactly what happened.
Yesterday morning, I woke up and my wife was gone. She left her wedding ring and her phone, her car.
How old is the person?
She is 28. She's Asian, Chinese.
What's her name?
Mengqi Ji Elledge.
Today, the pleas for help continue. As deer hunting season begins, CPD is asking for your help in helping solve a high-profile missing persons case.
My question stays the same. That is, where is Mengqi right now? So if you know anything about that, if you have any idea, I would say I would eager you to come out.
How you pronounce her name?
It's actually Mengqi, and it has tone to it. It's Mengqi.
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 Okay, all right. Well, I've been trying my best. Mengqi.
Okay. Yep, Mengqi.
All right. So talk to me about who she is. Why you fell in love with her?
Well, she's a very dedicated person. She's a hard worker, and I really like that. That's important to me. And she's really, she's very, very detail-oriented. And that's something that I honestly didn't see a lot in a lot of people and really a lot of girls as well. But she was, she's a mechanical engineer with me, same as I am. And that was something that was pretty important to me too. I know she was talking to somebody else on the side, and I didn't know that until after she had left. But whatever she's doing, I just hope she's safe, and I really hope that she can, find herself and come back to me and Anna, and we can just have a big long talk, and that's all we need. But we can work things out. I think she's just confused and maybe scared. And I don't know if she felt alone. I don't know where it came from, really. She kind of started being distant at the beginning of the summer. I'd give her kisses and I'd give her hugs, and she wouldn't kiss me back, and she wouldn't hug me back, and she didn't want to hold my hand and stuff. But I don't know why she didn't want to keep love alive with me. I tried, but...
In an interview with a local news reporter, Joseph Elledge revealed a startling detail. According to him, Mengqi had been secretly talking to someone else behind his back, a fact he claimed to have only discovered after her disappearance. He appeared visibly distraught, expressing his heartbreak over her apparent emotional and mental distance from their relationship. Despite his claims of deep love for Mengqi, He suggested that she had already begun to check out, leaving him to grapple with the painful truth as her whereabouts remained a mystery. Although things may have seemed picture-perfect on the surface, the reality of Joseph and Mengqi's relationship was far from it. Beneath the smiles and outward appearances, their marriage was unraveling. Tensions had escalated to the point where both were secretly recording each other during heated arguments, a clear sign that trust was eroding. Behind closed doors, their relationship was teetering on the edge, and those hidden recordings would later become chilling pieces of a much darker puzzle.
I talk too much. You need to know.
You don't listen enough. You need to know when to listen. Right now what's happening is just more of what I don't want.
Communication.
Lack of it.
Dumbass, you're being really mean to me. I don't like it. This is hurting my feelings. So what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck is wrong with you?
You want me to break? You want me to hurt somebody? I want to divorce you. Okay? I want that to happen during this semester. I want it to happen soon. Sooner better. Okay?
Those closest to Mengqi sensed that she was beginning to feel trapped in her marriage to Joseph. With her parents living thousands of miles away in China, the distance only deepened her isolation. Even when they visited after the birth of her daughter, Joseph seemed eager for them to leave, cutting their stay short and further distancing Mengqi from the people who loved her most. It became clear that Joseph was not only controlling, but also intent on keeping Mengqi isolated, a troubling sign of the cracks forming in their relationship. Joseph also began taking advantage of Mengqi's visa status, using the fear of deportation to get her to stay with him. He would tell her that he wouldn't represent her to stay in America, but if she left for China, she'd have to go alone because she wouldn't be able to take their daughter, Anna, with her.
You find all those stories about men and or women, their spouse killed them, whatever, because you aren't trying to live peacefully with me. You want me to hurt somebody?
You know what? Next time you dig a hole, I'm just gonna let you jump in, and I'm gonna bury the dirt over you.
On October 15th, 2019, detectives investigating Mengqi's missing person case decided to have Joseph come into the precinct for interrogation. After all, when an individual goes missing out of thin air, the spouse tends to be the #1 suspect.
Anna told me, during that time, she had told me that she had to get up early in the morning to go somewhere, and I asked her where she's going, who she's meeting, and I asked her about 3 times who is she meeting, and her answer was just quote me. So she was going to tell me who she was meeting or where she was going, what she was doing, and then later in the night, about 5 a.m. is when I woke up to Anna crying, and she was crying really loud, and so I really sat up in bed, and then I normally put my hand over to where Mengqi is, and I put my hand over there, and she wasn't there, and I looked over, I didn't see her, and I looked around the room, and I didn't see her, so I went out of the room, and I searched the rest of the apartment for Mengqi, and I just didn't see her anywhere. I noticed that her keys were here, I noticed that her phone and her ring were next to the bed, and it was really tired, so I just went back to sleep.
In a desperate bid for answers, Mengqi's parents sent a family friend living in Missouri to check on her and ensure everything was all right. When the friend arrived at the home Mengqi shared with Joseph, the situation took a troubling turn. It was there that Joseph revealed the shocking news: Mengqi was missing. Alarmingly, it became clear that he hadn't even bothered to call the non-emergency line to report her absence until prompted by their friend's visit. This unsettling revelation raised even more questions about Joseph's actions and intentions in the days leading up to Mengqi's disappearance.
It was a really nice day. I cracked the windows, and I noticed Anna was watching outside the whole time. She was very silent and just watching outside, and so I thought that was kind of nice. I got to relax, and at the same time,
wait a minute. You got to relax. Your wife is missing. You're now the sole caregiver of a 1-year-old child, and you went on a relaxing drive. I gotta tell you, that strikes me as strange, and I don't think I'm alone in that. I think Alan here would probably agree with that. I think 99 out of 100 people on the street would say, that's not the time to relax. I mean, you haven't even told anybody, I don't know where my wife is.
Yeah.
I'm asking you to look at this from my standpoint, right?
Yeah.
Because I have a job to do. My job is to find Mengqi, right?
I understand. Yep.
For good or for bad, it's to find her.
That's right.
If she left on her own and she wants to stay gone, that's her right. But boy, if she didn't, we got a whole different situation, doesn't we?
Yeah.
If somebody did something to her, or if she accidentally did something to herself,
yeah,
we absolutely cannot stop until we find her. You understand that, right?
Yep. Yep. I want to help you guys as much as I can.
And I will not apologize for doing my job and asking difficult questions. You understand that too, right?
Yep.
Did you kill your wife?
No, I did not.
Do you know what happened to her?
No, I do not.
Lock your door when you left the apartment?
Yeah.
If she comes home, how's she going to get back in? You've got her keys in her car, her phone's in the house. She can't even call anybody.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, did you leave her a note? You didn't leave her a note, right? I said, hey, don't worry about Anna and me because we're out for a drive. Didn't do that, right?
I didn't.
Why not?
I didn't think about it.
You knew she wasn't coming back, right?
I didn't know. Honestly, I just thought that she had left on her own accord, and I didn't know where she might be.
The detectives couldn't shake their growing suspicion of Joseph, but they lacked the concrete evidence needed to link him to Mengqi's disappearance, at least not yet. Then, on October 25th, 2019, the Columbia Police Department made a shocking announcement. Mengqi's case had escalated into a full-blown criminal investigation. As the weight of this revelation hung in the air, Joseph Elledge was arrested later that same day, but not for what you would think. Rather than being arrested for murder, he was arrested for abuse of a child, his own daughter, Anna. Alarmingly, Mengqi's mother reached out to authorities to share that her daughter had previously voiced concerns about Joseph's abusive behavior toward their daughter. This grave accusation provided law enforcement with the grounds they needed to take Joseph into custody and conduct a more thorough investigation into the troubling case. As the layers of Mengqi's life began to unravel, it became clear that there was much more at stake than anyone had initially realized. Following Joseph's arrest, police executed a search of his home and uncovered a series of unsettling items, including a diary that raised red flags. Within its pages, Joseph meticulously outlined how he planned to respond to questions from both the police and local news reporters. It was as if he had crafted a script, reminding himself to refer to Mengqi in the present tense, a calculated effort to evade suspicion. This chilling revelation suggested that Joseph was not just a grieving husband, but a man fully aware of the gravity of his situation, leading investigators to question what else he might be hiding. The police also found a pair of muddy boots in the home, which made them believe Joseph might have been walking around on a hiking trail, something he hadn't mentioned before. The investigation continued, with detectives looking into phone records and other information that could strengthen their case against Joseph. Sadly, the investigative work would take time, and Mengqi's case would appear to be growing cold. Despite being unable to find a body, the police charged Joe Elledge with first-degree murder while he was still in jail. Of course, the detectives knew this would be hard to prove because they had yet to find Mengqi's body. On a chilly day in March 2021, a hiker meandering through Rockbridge Memorial State Park stumbled upon something unusual, a flash of bright colors near the rocks that caught their eye. Intrigued, the hiker reported the discovery, prompting a swift response from authorities. Not long after, police announced a grim development. They had uncovered skeletal remains at the site.
Breaking news on ABC 17 News at 6. Human remains found south of Colombia and police conference scheduled tonight are connected. We told you on ABC 17 News at 5 that human remains were discovered earlier today at Rockbridge Memorial State Park.
17 months after Mengqi was reported missing by her husband, her body was finally found. The skeletal remains discovered in the park by the hiker belonged to her. Sadly, her remains were so decomposed that it was nearly impossible to determine her cause of death. However, several rib bones found at the scene were broken, meaning she'd likely experienced pain before her death. As investigators meticulously pieced together the evidence, they made a chilling connection. Cell phone records revealed that Joseph had been in the vicinity of Rockbridge Memorial State Park on the very day Mengqi disappeared. To make matters worse, the shoes he had worn that day bore the same distinctive terrain markings as those found in the park. On November 1st, 2021, Joseph's trial began. He was no longer trying to say that Mengqi went missing on her own. Instead, he tried to claim that there was an accident between them, which led to her death. He claims he never meant to hurt her and simply wanted to confront her about the conversations she was having with another man from China. According to Joseph, Mengqi lunged at him and a fight ensued. He claims he pushed her with a bit of force. Her head hit the floor tiles and she was out of it. He says she eventually got up off the floor and decided to go to bed, but when he tried to get her up in the morning, she wouldn't wake up. It was then that he realized she was dead, so he panicked and decided to bury her at the park.
Jurors, lawyers, and Joseph Elledge himself listened to hours of recorded arguments he and his wife had in the year before her death. The tapes from late 2018 showed Ji and Elledge arguing over marital and family problems. Elledge told Ji he felt disrespected by her when her mother stayed at their East Columbia apartment following the birth of their daughter. Both Elledge and Ji even told Joseph's mother, Jean Elledge, in one recording that they feared each other.
He lied to the press, and he lied to Mengqi's family, and he's certainly not proud of that. That he had no intent, certainly not murder. That's not even close. He didn't overreact in a violent way. He pushed to get to his daughter. She lost her balance and fell and hit her head, and it was a thud.
I reached over and touched Mengqi on the arm, and I said that I'll get Anna.
Did you get any response?
No.
Did you find any signs of life?
No.
Realize that she was dead?
Pretty much, yes.
The million-dollar question is, what is going on in your mind where you wouldn't call 911?
It looked so weird. It was so unusual. It looked bad. I was afraid, and it looked bad, though. I knew that people would suspect me.
Did you hit her with a toolbox real hard, just come down straight on that back?
No.
Did you maybe stand up on top of her and jump on top of her back?
No.
Did you suffocate her?
No.
Did you strangle her or cause her to urinate on the bed?
No.
You admitted there was urine on that bed, correct?
Yes.
I'm sorry, what?
I straddled her.
Yeah.
She was lying down.
She is now extremely vulnerable, correct?
I don't know.
Did you push her hard or not, Joe?
I did.
How hard did you push her? Demonstrate. Let's see it. Do it with your hands.
I don't know. I pushed her hard.
Even in his mother's presence, the defendant said he had a craving to smack Mengqi and physically beat her down.
After tense deliberations, the jury returned with their verdict, finding Joseph Elledge guilty of second-degree murder. The courtroom was filled with palpable tension as the judge pronounced his sentence, 28 years in prison, a hauntingly fitting number. representing the same years Mengqi had lived before her life was brutally cut short. In that moment, the weight of justice hung heavy in the air, a bittersweet reminder of the life lost and the loved ones left to mourn.